Hello and welcome back, everybody. We're here for the fifth and final match in this particular league series with Luca's Amulet deck. As we see on screen, I will have some thoughts for the deck list at the end, obviously, but I will save that for the end. Have to play through all the matches before we can speak to the efficacy of all of the choices made for this list. At the very least, it's been a fun playthrough, so yeah, let's go ahead and jump straight into the match and see if we can secure this 4-1 or if we're just going to go a measly 3-2. I'll see you guys in the games. We will join this match. Maybe we can be on the play again. Come on, Magic Online. You know you want to put me on the play. Yeah, that's right. We will take the play for sure. Playing in. What am I saying? Playing against Crazy Jakey 07. All right, all right. This hand is not great. Sadly, our Castle Gambrig is not entering untapped. Even if it were, that would be a turn. Was it turn 4 Titan? 5 Titan? I think turn 5 Titan at the earliest. And this Explosives may do anything from being the best card in our deck to doing nothing. So we got to mulligan this one, I think. And this hand is turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 Azusa into potential turn 3 Titan, perhaps. We'll definitely keep it. I hate to say it, but I think we're shipping Explore here. The Garenbrig means that we only need one land to be able to cast this Titan, and we have a plan for all of the turns of this game, so I think it has to be Explore. Sorry, bud. Explore, not good enough. Not gonna cut it. We got better things to do. Although I suppose we could have gone turn 1, tap land, turn 2, Explore into Grazer, perhaps, if we find an untap land, but whatever. Let's just play a turn 3 Titan here, if we can manage that. Let's go ahead and put this beautiful little beast in play. We're gonna take a lot of damage to get this Azusa in play as well, but you know, it's whatever. Ours is mine. Chromatic Sphere. Are we playing against Green Tron again? And that is the land that we needed, so we... No! I was thinking about playing the breeding pool there. Gosh. Man, I suck at this game. I made a colossal error against Green Tron in the last match as well. I've totally blanked and thought this Garenbrig would be entering untapped for absolutely no reason. We might have just thrown away a fantastic shot at this game for being too slow here. Gosh, that's the worst, man. So we could... Nah, we can't go for Dryad this turn because then we won't be able to cast our Titan the following turn. So we just gotta hope our opponent has nothing. Man. Why did I do that? I decided I'd give my opponent a shot here, you know. I felt like our hand was just too close to perfect on the play here against our Tron opponent, so had to make it a little fairer for them. Maybe they won't realize that this is Titan Mana. Maybe they'll think that this is a green or red land, and they'll just exile Azusa and we can just slam Dryad. Or maybe they won't have Karn here. Maybe they'll just play Wormcoil Engine and we'll be able to beat it, potentially. If our Titan resolves, we're getting Ghost Quarter immediately. This would have been so much better to Ghost Quarter them this turn, though. Because if we Ghost Quarter, say, their tower, they can always just untap, play another tower, and immediately cast something. It's almost like we are on the draw this game now. Man, that's a game-losing kind of error. Don't usually make a whole lot of those, but when I do... Our opponent's tanking here. It's like, we know they have the tower, so... Wormcoil, okay. Might be able to beat that one. Alright. Well, step 1 is to get this Titan into play. So let's do that. And I guess it's just going to be Ghost Quarter and a bounce land to pick up and replay Ghost Quarter and then quarter their tower and hope that's good enough. At the very least, they would only, I guess they would still have access to 10 mana if they had another tower. That'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it would be 8. So they can't Ulamog us this upcoming turn if we hit the tower anyway, so I guess we're doing that. And then we can Starter's Pack for Dryad the turn after, so yeah, this will be fine. And we'll do this in their draw step. Yeah, that's good. Well, this is the chance that we have given ourselves. Let's just hope it's good enough. If we get to untap with this Titan, I think we might be able to win here. Especially if we top deck a land here as well. Because if we can top deck land, play Dryad, attack with Titan, kill the Wormcoil maybe? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. We could always pack 4 and cast another Titan. Okay, they have a Karn. Looks like we're gonna have to cast another Titan. Oh, and they had the tower. I kind of missed it, but yeah, now we're probably gonna lose. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I think there's no way we could have lost if I had played the Zeus of that turn. And there's an Ugin the Spirit Dragon incoming. Might as well chump. This attack doesn't strike me as being very good, because now we can attack the Karn and stop it from down-ticking. I guess they're expecting this Ugin to just, resolve and do what it does. Let's see, so if we activate, play Titan, we'll have 2 floating. We can get Feel the Dead. Then if they play an Ugin, then we would just have to top deck a bounce land. I guess because of the way our mana is set up, we can afford to explore first and see what happens. Explosives. Not the most relevant one. So I guess we just have to get Talari West and bounce land with our Titan trigger. I don't know if that'll even be good enough, to be honest. I kind of don't want to put a Titan into play if they're going to be resolving an Ugin, so is it worth it to explore again and see what else we can find here? Or do we just want to slam the Titan? Because the Titan has to get bounce land in Talari West. So I guess that forces them to minus their Ugin, though. And this is just a bad spot all around. I don't know if there's anything else we could draw, even if we drew a Dryad here, and we wouldn't want to play it into the board anyways. I guess we're just trying to set up a Titan here. I have no clue. I don't think we really have a choice. Yeah, we just have to get Talari West and a bounce land, sadly. Guess we might as well get Garrison. Yeah, this is just a mess. Although, at least we can force them to Ugin away my Primeval Titan instead of doing anything else. If we draw an untapped land or a bounce land, then we'll be able to Titan this upcoming turn. You can get this dead explosives. No, we would need to have a Titan and an untapped land because we would have to transmute Talari West first. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Do I trade the worm with the Wormcoil here? How crazy is that? I think that's insane. We have to force them to down take this Ugin. Give them no other option, I suppose. Man. Like I said, on the play, this game should have been easy. Alright. We will float. No, we want to keep our our Tolaria West mana available, so let's do this. Field. Well, now we can trigger Field and Explore and Transmute Tolaria West, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we can do all of that. So let's play Field. Oh, no, we'd have to draw a land. No, we get to trigger Field anyway, so let's Explore first, making sure we don't use up the blue here. Summoner's Pact. That is fantastic. This means that this upcoming turn, we can Titan and Dryad all in the same turn, so we might be fine. Even with them at 32. Can we beat them at 32? We'll find out. 38, actually. So we pack for Dryad, play Dryad. That's going to be 3. We have this to haste, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to activate and play Titan. So we can play Dryad, play Titan, get Bounce Land and the Slayer Stronghold, haste our Titan, and attack. That's not quite good enough. I suppose we also may not need to win this exact turn if we can deal with their board. Like, we could pack for Dryad, play Dryad, pack for Titan, play Titan, get Valakut Vesuva copying a bounce land, and send a trigger at Ugin and a trigger at Karn, and then pick up the Vesuva and play it as a copy of Valakut, and send trigger at Karn and a trigger at them. Then we have to chump block the Wormcoil with field tokens, but that should be fine. And then the turn after, we'll have 4. We'll easily be able to pay for both pacts. So we would just have to fade a top deck from them, I suppose. Our opponent's also ungraciously stopping during their turn here. Minus on the growth chamber. Okay. We still have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can still do both a Dryad and the Titan here. So I don't think that changes our plan. In fact, that might make our Valakut plan a little easier. KGC could be a little problematic if they have Torpor Orb. May not matter that much if they go for engineered. Not engineered, Ensnaring Bridge. That's the one I'm thinking of. Coding is probably fine, actually. And they're on 1 card. So we can kill all these Planeswalkers and leave blockers and play from the Wormcoil. So we might not be in too bad shape here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll also be able to pay for our pack, even if they go for a coding and have a second Karn. Because we can float the mana in response to the coding. So I guess they would play Karn and uptick on our land, but we're about to get 2 lands off of the Titan trigger anyways. So not really worried about that. Oh, man. Actually, now we can't do both because they're doing this. Okay. Man. Okay, I guess we're getting a Titan. I mean, we could Stirrings and see if we can find a Valakut, in which case we can pack 4 and play Dryad and play Valakut and kill off the Karn so they don't get to exile another one of our things. They'd have to -3 Ugin to exile our Dryad, but that means we're going to lose another land. But I guess that's fine. Let's see, if we Stirrings and miss, we have green, 1, 2, 3. We'd be 1 short of playing a Titan in the first place. We only have 1 pack left as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess we have to resolve a Titan here. As weird as it may seem. Is there any reason to float the extra mana? I guess not. Wait. We'll activate this, pack 4, and play a Titan. So this is another one of those cases where if we had Hanweir, we could have floated a red and used the field instead, and been able to get Battlements plus a bounce land, bounce the Battlements and play it, and haste our Titan this turn, but we don't have access to that. Let's get a Valakut to set up for our Dryad turn. And something else. I suppose another green source makes sense. Guess a bounce land. We'll get a growth chamber. We get some blockers for this worm coil. We get to pick up a land here. I guess maybe Garenbrig. I mean, we want a bounce land in hand for comboing off with our Dryad, so I guess we'll just pick up the growth chamber. Makes no difference to me. We do get an additional zombie token here, though. So that's nice. And we'll pass it back. So they did get rid of their Karn here. Not a huge surprise. What they zeroed Ugin. Oh no, so we're just dead. Okay. Let's just go to game 2. So we want Negate. We want Beast Withins. We possibly want Rex Sage, I think so. Force I like. We don't want Explosives. We don't want Bog. It's actively bad against their Karn. You can trim one cavern, and the Explorers are kind of slow. I think this is basically where I was at when I sideboarded before. I think maybe I kept the cavern over one of the Explorers. Yeah, I don't want a second cavern. They're not that great in the first place. We would like to play first. Is a turn 3 Azusa type of hand. It's a turn 3 Azusa, turn 4 Titan. But no Amulet means that we can't activate a Ghost Quarter immediately. I guess if we played Titan on 4, we could find a Ghost Quarter, and that might be good enough. But if they just have turn 3 Tron and we draw nothing, then it's in pretty bad shape for us. I think we'll try it, though. It's possible that they keep a hand that ends up playing a basic forest or something, or maybe we top deck a Grazer or an Explorer or something here, and things work out all right for us. So, or an Amulet even would help quite a bit. Map. Well, that's a very good start from them. Grazer. All right, that one's not bad. Let's get this Garrison out there. Pick up the forest, and we'll Grazer in the forest. And we'll pass it back. So speed this up just a little bit. So it looks like we have a turn. It's still a turn 4 Titan, though. Oh, no, they did have to play forest out. Okay, so maybe this hand will get there then. Okay. So obviously this is going to be an Azusa turn. Might as well gain the life from this Radiant Fountain. We'll pass it back. Although maybe, to be honest, playing the Gruul Turf would have been slightly better there. I don't think it makes a huge difference, though. 6. We can get Ghost Quarter and some other land. Possibly Valakut. Or Talaria West, even. Well, now that we have a Talaria West, I guess we don't want to search for that one. We could get Ghost Quarter and Feel the Dead. We could play Talaria West, get Ghost Quarter, Feel the Dead, play Gruul Turf, pick up the Ghost Quarter, and replay the Ghost Quarter. And hit Tower. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We want to get Feel the Dead triggers here. And we already have a backup Titan, so... So we want our, where is it? Ghost Quarter and Field of the Dead. Always yield. World Turf. Pick up this GQ. GQ. We know this tower is gone, and that is the one that we're going to hit in their draw step. Let's go ahead and swing for our value point of damage here. And we will Ghost Quarter in their draw step, and it'll be pretty hard for them to come back from this, I should imagine. All right. Well, we got a very straightforward game 2 there. Let's see. Is there anything we want to change about this setup? I don't think so. All of our lands seem fine. Maybe Force of Vigor is not that great, but nah. We'll keep it the way that it is. Sadly, we have to be on the draw this last game. This hand's not awful though. Get a turn 2 Explorer. Yeah, we'll try it. It's a little slow, but we have Dryad to make our Titan a little bit more powerful. If we draw Garenbrig, we already have Titan mana. And we have Reclamation Sage to interact with a small Karn or something, some kind of artifact they might play, like an Oblivion Stone or whatever. Our opponent mulligans to 4 cards. My goodness. The Mad Lad. Our opponent really wants this turn 3 Tron. Tolaria West. Yeah. We'll play that one. Suppose we could transmute it for Ghost Quarter. Okay, I changed my mind. We'll hold on to it. We'll simmer on that one, because transmuting for a Ghost Quarter and then playing it seems like it could be quite powerful against our opponent. Unless they just run Tron land into Tron land into Tron land and just turn 3 Karnas on a mold to 4 anyways. Do not do it. No tower. They probably would have snapped off the tower if they found it. That, or they're exclaiming in celebration that they found their tower. And they're so distracted by having found it that they had to take a second just to celebrate it. And then they're going to click the tower. Even if they had a tower, though, it may not be good enough. They may still not have a threat. So, we shall see. If they find a tower, they have exactly 1 turn, because we're going to explore. We're going to play Forest, Explore into Growth Chamber, pick up the Forest, and then the turn after, we have the Transmute for Ghost Quarter, play and crack Ghost Quarter available to us. So, Spatial Contortion. That's not one I have ever seen picked off of an Ancient Stirrings before. Not gonna lie. Does kill an Azusa, I suppose. Alright, yeah. Let's go ahead and set up this Explore into potential Ghost Quarter line. No! They just had Tron. No! No Karn. No Karn. No Karn. Wormcoil Engine. Oh, that Karn is actually fine. Wait, no it's not, because the coding deactivates our Growth Chamber, and we can't play the Rex Sage. No, wait, because we can Force the Vigor the coding during their turn. Okay, okay, we're still fine. Still fine. We are probably pitching this Azusa since it dies to their Spatial Contortion anyways. Yield until they're in step. We definitely don't want to let them do this thing to our land, so let's pitch the Azusa. Sure. Cavern. Okay, so, I mean, I know we're facing an onboard active Karn, but we still need to turn off Tron from them if we can. So let's do this. Ghost Quarter. Play it. Oh, wait, we don't want to do this just yet. Hold on, cancel. We want to do this in their draw step. I suppose if we do it now, we're cutting them off from... Oh, no, this is not the Warping Whale. This is Spatial Contortion. Okay, no. I'm not concerned about them having a Warping Whale as their second card in hand here and using it for value, so let's get rid of this tower. And now if they Karn for something annoying like Ensnaring Bridge and play it, then we can Reclamation Sage away the bridge. Cycle Wilt. Don't mind to see them doing that. This is one that was used in the other Tron video, actually. I'm a big fan of this particular card. I want to get a couple copies of Wilt myself. I could even see Titan playing it in the sideboard. Might be better than Reclamation Sage, although we can pack for Sage, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really pack for Reclamation Sage that particularly often, so... Well, they have Tron again. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Although, they only have one card other than Spatial Contortion, so... If they just get an Ensnaring Bridge here and hope that it's good enough, it will not be good enough. Although, we'd still need to top deck a Garen Brig or something in order to get our Titan into play. I suppose if they put an Ensnaring Bridge on the battlefield, we could play Dryad and then plan to Sage the upcoming turn, Trinisphere. That one, I don't know if that does anything against us. Most of our stuff costs 3 or more mana anyways. Okay, well, I think I'm definitely interested in putting our Dryad into play here, so let's do that. And I guess Ketria lets us cast Titan if we go ahead and play it, so let's play this. And Forest, I suppose, and we'll pass it back. Now they needed to answer our Dryad. It's not impossible considering they have like 1 billion mana over there. They could have upticked on their Trinisphere. Karn. That one kind of sucks. Although we do get to answer this little Karn. Okay. I don't think we can afford to answer a little Karn, actually. I think we have to play our Reclamation Sage here. Although, if that allows them to minus little Karn and immediately go find Bridge, and then we don't really have an answer for Bridge. I don't know. As much as I hate this Karn, it's going to eat another one of our lands here. I don't think that there's an option. I think we just have to kill little Karn. Feels awful, but I am doing it. Here's Reclamation Sage. Maybe we could just not play the Sage. What happens if we don't play Sage? I guess then we can clock bigger Karn. Maybe even pitch Sage to the uptick. Tough territory here. I guess we're not playing Reclamation Sage. And we'll see what they do with this Karn after we clock this one. So let's attack Big Karn first. Things first. Because, in all honesty, we don't really care about this Trinisphere anyways. I guess for now we could top deck either Bounce Land or an untapped land and still be able to Titan. So let's play Cavern, Naming Giant, and Gruul Turf to pick up the Forest. And we will pass it back. If they don't go for a bridge here, then we can pitch Reclamation Sage to... I suppose if they play bridge, we can play Primeval Titan and get Valakut and a bounce land and try to kill them that way and just hope our Dryad stays in play. Let's see, we would have to send all of our triggers at Big Karn first. Yeah, that's better than doing anything else, I think. Spatial Contortion by itself isn't doing much. Sunring Titan? Say what? I was not expecting that one. Well, it's looking real bad, guys. We're about to get all of our lands gone. I think this is just game. Guess we should have clocked Little Karn. Not that it would have made a huge difference, in all honesty. Yeah. Yeah, this is a game loss. Well, that really sucks, considering the reason we lost game 1 was my error. My lack of playing the Azusa that turn. Oh, that's really frustrating. Okay, well, anyways, we ended up 3-2, which is still fine. Definitely should have been 4-1 in my opinion. Regardless, I still think that the list has a lot of promise. I feel like I did pretty well here and could have done a little bit better with a little tighter play. So let's talk about some of the things in this list that I like and some of the things in this list that I do not like. I'll start with the things that I like. I really like the second cavern. I really like that there's only a few Veil of Summers. I think 3 might be too many. And I actually don't mind the Fierce Empath at all. I don't know if I like it or dislike it. But overall, I would say that the list feels very strong. The Explosives main and side seems good. I like that you intelligently have chosen to go with Grazer over Scout. I personally much prefer Grazer, and I'm glad to see that idea spreading. So let's talk a little bit about the things that I don't love with this list. So first of all, I don't like this heavy red splash. I did mention it. Well, I mean, it's not even that heavy of a red splash, but I just don't think it's worth it to be playing Fire Spout. It does always kill a Magus of the Moon, but Dismember also always kills Magus of the Moon, although sometimes it can cost you some life to do so, but, like, usually it's worth it, and Fire Spout can even be too slow against some of those Druid combo decks or Boggles or whatever. Like, if you're trying to bring in Fire Spout for those matchups, then they can, for example, if they're Boggles, they can just put a Daybreak Coronet on their Boggle before you get the chance to Fire Spout, and all of a sudden your Fire Spout's a dead card, right? If you try to Fire Spout a Druid combo opponent, they can just Postmortem Lunge back their Druid and go for it anyways. You know, like, there are definitely areas where Fire Spout will be good, but I think in general this effect is just a little too lacking, hence why I don't play any in the sideboards of my personal amulet lists, and that would be my first advice is cut the Fire Spouts, because another reason that I did not yet mention is that it does contort your mana base a little bit. It's a mild inconvenience, but it does come up where being able to trigger your Feel the Dead is very important, and you want to have access to some additionally named lands rather than just Gruul Turf and Simic. Like, I think that the upside of including a couple sanctuaries here is very low. And so I would make this change personally. And that's my first suggestion. My second suggestion would be that I think that you can afford to cut one bounce land. I think that 9 bounce lands is quite a lot. And you could either go down to 1 Gruul Turf or 1 Sanctuary. It's whatever your preference is. And maybe play a 4th Castle or a 2nd Valakut or something along those lines. I have liked those particular cards. But even further, I know that you mentioned in the comments, Luca, that you were interested in playing the Hanweir Battlements, and I do think that you would benefit from doing that. I don't really find the Stronghold to have very much significant upside, so this would be my suggestion as far as that is concerned. I don't know how to spell Hanweir, so I'm just going to put Han W, and they'll know what I'm talking about. And that gives you 1 additional land slot. That could be another Garenbrig. It probably should be a 2nd Valakut. I think that you want a 2nd Valakut, especially if you're going on the Hanweir route. There were at least 2 games in this very league where I pointed out that a Hanweir would have let us immediately haste our Titan, and because we didn't have Hanweir, there's no way to do it, right? And those situations come up more frequently than you would think, and having access to Hanweir opens up a lot of freedom and, like, what lands you're choosing with your Titan lines. So I would definitely suggest doing that. What else? So I think it could be useful to get some more counter magic in the sideboard. I wouldn't necessarily think it was necessary to play too many. I think maybe just 2 negates might be all you need for the counter magic. Counter magic tends to be pretty weak in the Amulet sideboard, in my opinion. So I would maybe go with 2 negates, or possibly 1 Aether Gust and 1 negate, or I don't know, whatever your particular poison is as far as that is concerned. And then the last slot could go to a Dismember. It could go to a Beast Within. I think generally it usually would be a Dismember, just because Dismember can be very important against things like Ponza, against things like Devoted Druid. The decks where you just absolutely must interact, Dismember does help. It's also if the fire spots were there because you're concerned for the red aggro matchup, you might consider including a second Baloth as the 15th sideboard slot as well. Although I think you should have the red matchup pretty much covered here with the grazers and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, overall though, I felt like the list was very strong. Um, yeah, I think those are the only changes I would really suggest. I suppose you could trim one of these 2 lands here to make room for 1 rot farm, since it's pretty free and you might be able to use it in conjunction with Dismember. It's also yet another name for Feel the Dead. So, anyways, that's enough talking about the list. Overall, I like it, and I think that given the tight plays that are required as an Amulet player, you can definitely do very well with it. I know that I would have personally done a little bit of that, a little better at this league had I had a bit more focus, sadly. But still, like I say, 3-2 is a particularly acceptable score, getting all of your league value back and a little more on top of that. And this could have been a very easy 4-1 in my opinion. And I think that the list has a lot of merit. So definitely keep testing and let me know how it goes. Let me know what you think of Hanweir if you do choose to make that change. And that goes for all of you guys at home as well. If there are any suggestions that you would have for a list like this, then drop it down. If you have any thoughts about the second Cavern of Souls, or playing Hanweir over Stronghold, or the second Field of Dead in the sideboard, these are all things that I'm pretty interested in. I don't know that I think the second field is necessary, although we didn't really play any matchups where the second field was particularly relevant, except for that Teamer deck, but I think that having Cavern of Souls does a lot more work than Field of the Dead in those matchups. Although, I guess it really depends on how well you're able to play around Aether Gust, so you know what I mean? But yeah, I will see you guys for the next league. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.